personally, here's where I think they didn't do a very good job, and that was with Lexie Mitchell, who's an unrestricted free agent, because Lexie Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think she got the credit that she deserved.
Sheryl Swoopes is back in the spotlight, but not for good reasons. She's been spreading unfounded rumors about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and this time, Lexie Hull has had enough. For months, Swoops, who likes to call herself a legend, has made wild accusations about the team. But now, Paul is stepping up and speaking out, putting an end to the gossip and setting things straight. So, what exactly did Swoops say this time? As usual, she's claiming there's chaos in the locker room, that Lexie Mitchell is being overlooked, and even suggesting that Christy's departure wasn't exactly professional.
I think Christy did as good of a job as she could have. Managing all of the craziness, all of the Caitlin mania, all of the hype, all of the media. It was just so much that came with.
You might be wondering why Sheryl Swoopes, a Hall of Famer with plenty of accolades, keeps stirring up drama with these wild claims. Is it jealousy? Or is she just trying to stay in the spotlight? Whatever the reason, Lexie Hull has had enough and is finally stepping up to set the record straight. So what's it really like playing alongside Caitlin Clark? Spoiler alert, it's nothing like the chaotic image Swoops has painted. While Swoops' words might grab attention, they fall apart when you look at the real story, one filled with heartwarming moments and plenty of laughs. Hull is here to challenge Swoops' narrative and break it down, piece by piece. Are you ready for a story that shows how teamwork, unity, and resilience always win over gossip and drama? But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started.
Players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be.
This isn't the first time Sheryl Swoopes has tried to stir up trouble with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Remember when she boldly claimed Clark's game wouldn't translate to the WNBA, or when she said Clark wouldn't make an impact in her rookie season. Spoiler alert, Clark quickly proved her wrong, lighting up the league with incredible performances and earning multiple awards, making her the talk of the town. But Swoops didn't stop there. Earlier this year, she tried to fuel more drama by suggesting there was a toxic atmosphere in the Fever's locker room, even implying that some players didn't want to play with Clark. The issue? Those claims were based more on social media rumors and whispers than on any real solid proof.
What kind of things you said?
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay. But this,
I'm talking about more social media.
When Swoops couldn't back up her claims, fans and analysts quickly called her out. Even respected figures like Nancy Lieberman and Stephen A. Smith criticized her for spreading speculation without solid evidence, pointing out the obvious flaws in her so-called insider knowledge.
She got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Sheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this.
Let's not forget Swoop's strange critique of Clark's NCAA scoring record, where she suggested that Clark's extra year of college eligibility somehow made her achievements less impressive. Once again, facts proved her wrong. Clark played the same number of seasons as other players, and that argument crumbled just as quickly as it came up. It almost feels like Swoops has made a career out of doubting Clark, and every time, her claims fall apart under scrutiny.
I called her as a friend, and I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion.
So why does Swoops keep pushing these narratives? Maybe it's an attempt to stay relevant in a league that's celebrating new talent, or maybe she just enjoys stirring up drama. Whatever the reason, her track record for accuracy is shaky, and fans are starting to notice. The patience for baseless stories is running out. But this time, Swoops has really gone too far, targeting not just Caitlin Clark, but also Lexie Mitchell and former coach Christy Sides. That's where Lexie Hull comes in. Tired of the noise, she's stepping up to set the record straight. We'll dive into Swoops' latest remarks about Lexie Mitchell and explain why they fall apart when you look at the facts. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Now, let's get back to the action.
Because Lexie Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think she got the credit that she deserved.
Sheryl Swoopes has recently targeted Lexie Mitchell, claiming in her podcast that the Indiana Fever aren't giving Mitchell enough credit for her contributions. If you only listen to Swoops, you might think Mitchell is being overlooked and undervalued by her own team. But, as usual, the facts tell a different story. Let's start with what team president Kelly Krakoff has said. Krakoff has consistently praised Mitchell, calling her a cornerstone of the team and highlighting her key role in the Fever's present and future. Statements like Kelsey's impact on the team is irreplaceable, and her leadership sets the standard for where we're headed don't exactly sound like the words of a team neglecting one of its top players, do they?
It's not unusual, and it certainly doesn't change our opinion of how important Kelsey is and how important, she is to returning to this team. So that she's our number one priority.
It's not just management praising Kelsey Mitchell either. Mitchell herself has repeatedly expressed gratitude for the organization and her teammates, highlighting how they've all worked together to block out the noise. This certainly doesn't match the unhappy, overlooked picture that Swoops is trying to paint. Mitchell has also openly talked about how Caitlin Clark's passes have set her up for critical shots, showing the strong mutual support and chemistry between the two on the court. But perhaps the most convincing proof is what's happened on the court during the Fever's standout season. Mitchell's performance didn't just remain consistent, it actually improved. Analysts have pointed out that with Clark's assist-heavy style of play, Mitchell's scoring opportunities grew, making her an even bigger offensive threat. This kind of synergy completely debunks any idea that Mitchell's being neglected.
A lot of people don't understand that either about Caitlin. You don't know where those passes are going.
No,
Yo,
it's going to go to where she thinks you're going to score from. She's like a football.
Quarterback.
She's passing you into a route.
Peyton Manning. Indianapolis' finest.
So why would Swoops make these claims? It seems like another attempt to stir up division and doubt, but this time, Lexie Hull has had enough. In response to the allegations, Hull spoke out to emphasize the team's unity and mutual respect. She pointed to behind-the-scenes moments that show how much the Fever genuinely support and uplift each other, like playful banter during practice and team outings that help boost morale. Hull's perspective gives us a real look at a team that doesn't just play together, but thrives together. Whether it's bonding off the court or lifting each other up during tough games, the Fever stands out for their strong camaraderie. This isn't just a team. They're a force built on collaboration, laughter, and a powerful team spirit. But what exactly did Hull say about the locker room that's putting Swoops in her place? Let's take a closer look.
She'll just throw out comments that are just funny. Like, no one else is saying it but Caitlin. She sees the game at a bigger scale, obviously with the platform that she's created for herself, and then that's transitioned to the game. It's huge. And I think, like, for me, especially as a point guard and as someone that's delivering a lot of the passes that lead to shots, like, if I miss, she's definitely going to say, like, you got the next one. Like, I can count on her for keeping me, like, confident and positive. So yeah, I think that shows the player that she is and the leader she is as a point guard.
Lexie Hull, known for her focused play and commitment to the team, isn't someone who usually engages in off-court drama. But when Sheryl Swoopes started spinning her latest story of division, Hull decided it was time to speak up and set the record straight. Hull's words carried weight, not just because of who she is, but because she spoke from personal experience. She described the Fever's atmosphere as one of support and laughter, painting a picture of practices that were both intense and fun. One memorable story involved Caitlin Clark during a tough practice with loud music blasting, where Clark's easygoing humor kept the entire team in high spirits. Hull highlighted how these moments of lightheartedness were key to the team's morale, turning high-pressure practices into valuable opportunities for bonding.
There was one practice, Christy turns on loud music because I can't remember where we were going, but we knew the arena was going to be loud. And so she turns on this loud music, and Caitlin screams, she's like, "Can someone turn it off? It's giving me a migraine." And everyone's like, what? And Christy reacted and said, "What did you say?" And she repeated it. And all of us were we were all dying because if I would have said that, if anyone on our team would have said that and then been asked, "What did you say?" and you repeat it, no one else is repeating it, but she did. And it was the funniest thing. We're all rolling on the ground laughing.
Paul also explained how the team, including herself and Kelsey Mitchell, worked together to block out the distractions from social media. The Fever have a culture of support, where if one player has an off night, the others step up with encouragement and positivity. This sense of camaraderie completely dismantles Swoops' claims of locker room toxicity. Hull shared how the team's unity helped her regain confidence after difficult stretches, stressing that Caitlin Clark's leadership played a key role in fostering an environment where everyone could succeed and thrive.
It's hard. Like, it's easy to say, like, yeah, don't read it, but everybody does a little bit. And I think it's having like that support system to help keep you on track. The biggest thing is finding people to kind of get you out of that cycle and get you to thinking about the positive things you did, even though a lot of times people online aren't talking about the positive things.
Hull's comments also gave a rare behind-the-scenes look at the team's dynamics. She shared stories of spontaneous team outings, golf games, group dinners, and even yoga sessions that showed the Fever weren't just a team, but a family. Even after tough losses, the players supported each other, not just as teammates but as friends with a shared goal. Hull made it clear that these activities weren't for show. They were real moments that strengthened their bond. As a result, fans and analysts rallied behind Hull's clear, truthful take, praising her for exposing the gap between Swoopes' narrative and the reality of the team's unity. This wave of support only reinforced Hull's standing, not just as a player, but as a leader who's willing to stand up and defend her team.
All of these people were supporting me this whole time, and I didn't know that they were supporting me until that moment. So like, you kind of forget that there's these people behind the scenes until they come out of the woodwork and say like, I've been following along this whole time. Like, I'm so proud of you. And that just feels so good to know that there's, such a community behind everybody on our team, even when you don't hear it every day.
When Sheryl Swoopes' critiques went beyond Caitlin Clark and Lexie Mitchell, she turned her attention to former Fever head coach Christy Sides. Swoops suggested that Sides was unfairly let go, implying there were internal issues and a chaotic team environment. But once again, Swoops' claims appear to be more fiction than fact. Here's why.
I can't say anything bad about the job that Christy Sides and her staff did. She did everything she was hired to do and then some, through a tough first year of Caitlin and all the attention and everything that went with that. I give them a lot of credit.
Christy Sides' time with the Fever was defined by her dedication and resilience. Team president Kelly Krakoff has spoken highly of Sides, praising her for the tremendous commitment she brought to the team and the hard work she put in during a crucial phase of the season.
It's hard. I think like in this profession, like things just are so fluid and you never know what to expect. You never get comfortable. And heading into next year, this will be my 4th head coach in 4 years. So just it's a crazy job, and I'm really sad for Christy. I think she's a great person, a great leader. Excited to see what she does in the future.
Players, including Lexie Hull, echoed Krakoff's praise for Christy Sides. Hull shared that Sides' support never wavered, even during the toughest seasons. She explained how Sides constantly pushed the team to grow, foster collaboration, and stay focused on the future. Swoopes' version of internal unrest simply doesn't match the reality described by those who were actually there.
Christy Sides did a great job. And as we move forward, my thought process was how do we maximize what we have and how do we jump on this opportunity now?
It's important to note that Christy Sides' departure wasn't some sudden drama-filled fallout. The decision was mutual and strategically planned, in line with the Fever's long-term goals for growth and change. Hull explained that the team viewed the move as a natural part of their evolution, with Sides leaving on good terms and receiving heartfelt well wishes from both players and management. This wasn't a story of toxic conflict, it was a deliberate step toward the future. Even Sides herself maintained a respectful silence after her departure, with her only public comments reflecting professionalism and an understanding of how transitions work. Sports analysts and fans praised her graceful exit, viewing it as the mark of a true leader who knows when it's time to pass the baton for the greater good. Swoopes' suggestions of internal discord simply don't hold up when measured against the steady, positive feedback from those who were actually involved.